Hello, Cathy,
Hello,
and
Martin.
welcome. Thank you, and welcome to the Martin Talk Show. But we're here today to discuss your show that you're taking to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and I'm going to check that I'm pronouncing this right. Ama,
Almost there. It's Amma.
Ama.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, wonderful. So Cathy, tell me a little bit your show, what the show's about.
This show is actually my personal reflection about my recent displacement. If everyone know about the Los Angeles Eaton fire earlier this year, so
Hmm.
I'm actually living super close to the affected area. I was displaced for a month, but lucky that my house is still standing. But the fire actually stopped half miles away, so it's actually super
Wow.
close. Yeah, because during this displacement, I keep thinking about so when human face disaster, something that we cannot control. So what remains for us, especially for identity, because when we try to evacuate, all the things that we will pick, obvious will be things that can prove who we are. And because I have a daughter, so then of course I will bring her the birth certificate and everything. I mean, like key that all the financial stuff is like digital now, but then you still want to hold on to something that says who you are. So that's
Hmm.
why this like I keep thinking because I'm not able to digest because everything is so quick. So that's why I keep thinking, oh, so what does this mean to me? And then at the same time, I was like, I was actually really want to write a play about my grandma because she has dementia, like the diagnosis like 10 years ago. So all of a sudden, while I was like grieving, trying to reflect a bit, all of a sudden I found the connection in between two of it, and because for my grandma, she came from a place that dictate her life, a place that she cannot read and write because she never had a chance to go to school, like back in Fujian, China. Even after she moved to Hong Kong for us, she never get a chance to read or write. But then she always find a way to try to reclaim her identity in different way. And so for me at the beginning when I know that she has dementia, I feel like it's a joke for her because for someone who has been working so hard to tell people who she is, and all of a sudden she gradually don't remember who she is.
Hmm.
So that's why I connect both of them, and then to write this play as a dialogue in between my own reflection of the natural disaster and between and her the deterioration of her memory and her body, and so that's why I wrote this play.
Mm. No, this sounds really raw and an emotional piece. This must be. This sounds something that must be really close to your heart, and it's stuff that didn't happen that long ago.
Yeah, it is because it's just like it was January. It's only like 6 months ago.
Yes,
And
yeah.
also, my relationship with my grandma, we are super close to each other.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but but I want to say that, but the play is not heavy at all because for me, I always told my student or even told my actor when we talk about something like very heavy, very emotional, we need to use the lightest way to say it. Yeah,
Hmm.
because this is what I have been trying to do for my whole life too, and I don't want people to drag into a hole. I really
Yes.
want to bring some hope to people as well.
Hmm. That's a wonderful message that you've found at this point of your journey, having only just experienced it. So, at what point of experiencing this in January to now we're just about to move into August, did you start to think, I want to turn this experience into a play, into theatre?
Once I finish my play, I already know I
Hmm.
want to turn it into a theater. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I just like I think in a month I quickly informed like, all the people, contact the venue, find an
Hmm.
actor, and then to have everything come together.
So what I'm trying to get at though is you're going through a big thing in life, something that a lot of us will never, hopefully never experience something like these, the fires that happened and the displacement, and let alone the personal struggles that you're going through. But where do you start to go, right, okay, I want to write this down. I want to share this experience with others.
I think so I have been displaced for a month. So I was like staying at my sister's place.
Hmm.
So because like it's never easy to stay at some place while you're in displacement, even
Hmm.
that's your sister. So
Even if you're somewhere safe, it must be hard.
yeah, yeah, and especially for my baby girl, she's only 2.5, and then because I keep like praying, and I keep thinking like I really want her to back to her normal life. So, and I think maybe when I was displaced in like for about 2 to 3 weeks, just a week before I'm able to go home, I start thinking I really want to write down my feelings, my
Hmm.
emotion, and I'm trying to kind of like digest and trying to organize what is inside my mind and my heart, and also because of one call, I call my families back in Hong Kong, and I talked to my grandpa asking her how's my grandma, and everything, all the feelings mix up together and makes me feel like, oh, I really 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 want to put this together into a play. And then I feel like why I want to tell people this story, because I feel like we are living in a world that many people is drifting right now. Like,
Hmm. Drifting.
yes, like
T-
so
t- Tell me
then
more about that drifting. What do you mean by that?
for what I mean about drifting is like, so you see a lot of people like they're refugees. They need to move out of the city they grow up because of many different reasons.
Hmm.
And you can see also there are so many immigrants, and also there's so many chaos in our world right now. We have to
Yes, yes.
like um,
I think this displacement is at its highest level since the Second World War right now, isn't it, throughout the world?
yeah, I believe so, and I feel like I really want to share what I reflect, what I learn about from this experience, and also because myself, I'm a Christian myself. I'm a pastor,
Hmm.
so I feel like I I want the audience, like through this play, they will be able to reconcile with their what they are what situation they are in right now, but at the same time they will be able to grab on something they have right now to help them to move on.
Hmm.
So for me, because theater is always my best language to tell people how I feel. So
Hmm.
that's why I feel like, and we all know the power of theater, and
Hmm.
how mass the audience that you can reach. So that's why I put it into a play.
Hmm. So where you say theatre's your home, theatre's the place that you love, and that's your vessel for telling stories. Where does that come from? Where did that start for you?
Uh, I think it's since I was in junior high. I think like secondary school.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I first see, like, I saw a play in Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts, and then I forgot the name of it, but then it is a show about softball, and then when I see the show, I was like, wow, okay, so this is what theater can offer you. They can offer you a world that maybe you never have a chance in your life that you can reach. I'm amazed by how Playwright they can just present the world that they imagine, and then put them on the stage. So at that moment, I was like obsessed with theater. I love how how the theater provide us a world that we never would imagine in real life. And also when so then I start telling myself, oh, I want to work in theater. And then after my trainings in America, and then when I moved back to Hong Kong, I was with this mentor who he actually changed my life or changed my perspective as a theater artist, because he taught me like how we can how we can like, using theater to tell people what we observe in our world, and then
Hmm.
using the theater as an advocate to tell people what really matter. Of course, I'm not meaning that, I'm not saying that people have to follow C or but then I can tell people what I think is important right now,
Hmm.
I'm not going to offer an answer, but then to let people to have a new perspective, because everyone has different perspective, but maybe a perspective from me, and then to maybe to try to stimulate or inspire you a bit, and then maybe because I always feel like if we are also able to let audience to be open to what we see, sometimes a dialogue will happen on the stage, even you don't
Yes.
talk, just
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah, so that
I call theatre the empathy machine.
yes,
It just churns it out. It gives you that opportunity to look at life in a different way,
yes,
the and experience something in that you may never go through. But there doesn't. I haven't found another medium that does it quite so well as theatre. Film offers it as well for me. I love film, but theatre connects you in a different way. Something more personal hits, and like you say, there's that dialogue. There's no wall. There's no barrier happening. It's that someone's telling a story, and it's right in front of you. It's part of the imagined world is part of the real world when you're in theatre.
yes, and I think I always think like our world will be in a better place if we allow others people's story to be listened, to be heard, and
Yes.
also we have a space to be offered to tell a story as well.
Hmm. So tell me about have you been to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival before?
Oh yeah, I think this is my fifth or sixth time there.
Wow. So what are your feelings of the Edinburgh Fringe then? Or having, that you feel this too, that theatre is such an amazing and powerful thing, that there's a festival for it where there's 5,000 shows on this year that come together to tell their stories. What do you make of the festival?
You know, I actually, I think my theater career is deeply influenced by my experience in Edinburgh. So I came to Edinburgh in 2012 as an
Hmm.
observer. So I just come here and then to see what is going on here.
Experience some theatre. And
That actually inspired me that I want to build some platform just like this in Hong Kong.
Mhm.
And this idea has been inside me, and then I start bring my own solo in 2013, and then in 2018, actually most of my lifelong friendship made in Edinburgh Fringe, and then inspired by the Fringe, I start my own arts festival. It's a curated Fringe festival in Hong Kong. Yeah, so that's a platform. We offer free technical marketing, venue, all kinds of support, and then no commission for the artist. So
Mhm.
100% of sales goes to the artist.
Amazing.
And because
And was there nothing like this prior happening in Hong Kong?
no, not really. I mean,
No.
either because it's either government platform or it won't be like 100% ticket sales goes to artists, because they will say like, oh, you know what, I give you a free platform, I have to take all your commitment, like all your ticket money. But for me, it was like that doesn't make sense at all because I really want to build a platform to be able to for everyone to thrive together. Because for me, coexistence is very important for me.
Hmm.
So that's
I
why I
think
have
it's important for all of us, even if we don't understand it.
yeah. And then
Mhm.
I start taking students and mentee, and then now I start working like in 2023. I start this new project working with young artists. So I co-write with them, and then let them debut in Edinburgh Fringe, which earned us the 2023 the Fringe First Award. Yeah.
Hmm.
So and that is success, and then so that lead us thinking, oh, maybe this formula could work. Maybe I can keep working because for me, seeing lots of art in different fringe festival, I always feel like you know what, Hong Kong may be a small city, but they have very many talent artists there. So because of that, I start doing this platform with my partner in Taiwan. We are like so then we co-hosting this platform called the Asia Base, and
Hmm.
during the very first Asian Art season in the space, which is in the space UK. I think this is very rare for a whole venue to do all shows from the same platform in one
Hmm.
single venue. I think that never happened in Edinburgh.
No, no, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, so it's like in my venue, like so Amma is doing that in the Niger Street in the space. So you will see all our six shows
All
from
right.
11 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so this is like how like I this is how I kind of like involved like during these few years,
Hmm.
inspire me as an artist or as a curator, like from the Edinburgh Fringe. Yeah.
So, the festivals that you're running in Hong Kong, what's the name of the festival?
So it was called the Let's Be Together Arts Festival. It was
Hmm.
in Kaohsiung and it was in Hong Kong as well. And then we renamed it as the Hong Kong New Ideation Art Festival because instead of just fringe production, we want to honor and focus on solo artists because we
Hmm.
want them to be easy because for solo artists it's easier for the producer and curator to bring their shows to the fringe because budget wise and budget wise everything because I'm a curator I knew that that will be cheapest way to invest
Yes,
in
there's
them but easiest way to yeah so
the cost of bringing a theatre production to life is expensive, and working out the logistics of multiple different
yeah
people can be very difficult to take them to different places.
and especially
So.
in Edinburgh it's expensive
So that's why there's a lot of solo performances and
yeah
productions, because it make what's possible to do.
yeah
And then there's also the reliance on others. If it's just you, you can drive your thing forward, can't you? And you can perhaps, I guess, there's also the opportunity for the future that if you can do it successful as a solo performance, then maybe there's an opportunity to grow that production to something more in the future.
yeah there you go yep.
It's a great foundation for artists.
Yeah, and I feel like this is also a good way for them to build up really who they are. Because sometimes
Mm.
it's hard to see a show, like many people will do classic, but then the thing is like, instead of like what kind of play you are choosing to play, but I really want to see who you are as your, like who you are as an artist, what is the character of yours. So
Mm.
through the festival, I want them to build up who they are.
And I guess that gives the opportunity for you to hear, and I think what you're saying is hear their voice,
Yes.
hear what they have to say as an artist. Whereas in a production that's like a classic piece that we all know, they're just that character, and their portrayal of their character can be true to them. I definitely, I'm an actor as well, so I understand that how important it is to find yourself as an
Yes.
actor. It
Yeah.
took me a long time to understand that. It took me 20 years of doing it to
Oh,
fully
it's
get
hard to play.
to fully get to grips with that understanding of who am I within the part. And yeah, I wish I'd discovered that sooner. And it sounds like this is what you're doing is amazing work to give performers that opportunity.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've been trying to do that, especially with the limitation in Hong Kong right now.
So
So,
yeah, that's what I wanted to get onto next because I don't want to pretend I know too much about the politics of Hong Kong.
mhm.
But is it difficult there for the arts? Is it easy? Is it supported by your governments or not as supported as it should be?
uh, I mean, it's easy if you are trying to promote the the
The,
the, the
the
image of
agenda,
Hong
the
Kong.
agenda, the
Yeah.
agenda, because I'm just taking this as assumptions that it may be easy if you're trying to promote the agenda of the
Yes.
of your government, and I'm seeing this happen in sort of in the UK as well, and I see it happen in the United States that
Yeah.
the agenda of the government through the arts is being driven. Um, but so how easy are you finding it to grow your festival?
Um. So, like financially, it's difficult because I don't think our project qualify what the Hong Kong government really want because our funding well, our funding applications actually got rejected in April. Yeah, but artistic wise or creative wise, I think I actually get more and more young artists to get to feel interest to want to join this platform. And I feel like because right now in Hong Kong, I feel like the industry is kind of weird because no one really want to know, no one really know where's the lines, what things you can do, what things you can, because we don't have a very specific guideline for us to do stuff.
Hmm.
So and if you try to search it online later in fringe.com, like you will see like this year surprisingly there's like so many production company from Hong Kong coming to the Edinburgh. I feel like
Yes.
not only because the previous like the because we were once the British colony. I'm not. I think it's not only about that, but also because like this is also an English speaking country, which is easier for Hong Kong people. Compared to Italy or compared to France, it is an easier platform for them to be able to bring their work here and then to have their voice to be heard and also to have the freedom to do what they want. So for me, I'm not sure, but then I kind of feel like I'm not sure if I answer your question, but then I kind of feel like what is happening in Hong Kong for me is not it's not a disaster for our industry. It's actually an opportunity for us to find a way and to be more creative, to be more bold, to take the courage to
Mm.
just step away from our comfort zone, not just trying to tell the story to the people in Hong Kong, but take the courage to get out of our tiny city and to tell the world what we really want to say and then to show them, hey, you know what, I'm actually not too bad. Come see me. So I feel like that's actually an opportunity for me, even financially. It's hard, but I always tell people, you know what, this experience you gotta experience because if you're older, when you have family, you have everything, you won't have you won't have the guts that want to spend that much money to go to
Yes, yes.
yeah, so yeah, for me, yeah, yeah, it's difficult, but in some way, it's also it become easier for us to just go somewhere. Yeah,
And that opportunity to, yeah, like I really like that thing of that you're saying about getting out there into the world and letting the world hear your voice, letting the world see these performances, and bringing that empathy around the world, rather than if it was just easy at home,
yeah,
then maybe there wouldn't be that you wouldn't be spreading your voice around the world.
Yeah, and I definitely desperately want to tell people like in Hong Kong, we are not just about Jackie Chan, we're not just about Bruce Lee, we're just not about dim sum and Chinatown. We are actually more than that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So those kind of influences that we've had in the West, how do you feel like though that supported the creative arts in Hong Kong? Like the Jackie Chans and the Bruce Lee, because I'm a huge fan of Bruce Lee, and he means a lot to me, and he's influenced in some ways my work and what I do. And so I wonder what that's like for you.
Um, you mean for the rest inference? Uh,
Yes.
So for us, I think uh, because once we were a British colony, actually I'm grow up in a time that in a city where West and East meet together, and
Hmm.
we actually got exposed to. We are very lucky that we got exposed to different kinds of art and culture from all over the world, because back then, the Hong Kong government they actually trying very hard to bring in like well-known artists from all over the world. We have a very used to be a very good art festival that bring in the best of best to Hong Kong. So that's I have been growing up in a time where I get to expose to arts from all over the world. So then that means our art or our when we do theater, we're not just influenced by our own culture. We are just like our if you see our art, you can see they are actually influenced by many. It's like a crucible of everything, and uh, and it is not just about tradition, but then somehow the Western influence help us to use our work to integrate the the very traditional mind, but at the same time we got the technique from the West. So it become a very interesting theater experience when we see Hong Kong people's work. Some people they are very modern like that. Like I can say, like I cannot speak for many of people, but then I can say like our physical theater is actually very interesting because imagine the body of a Chinese, but then we are using the Western technique, and then using them to how to explore our body on in the theater. It's already very different from
Mm,
you seeing a white people or some other people on the street on the stage, and even like just like how you when you see the work from South Africa, how they mix their African culture and the white culture, and then it become a very interesting genre when you see that theater as well. So I can say like this is some good influence. Of course, there are some bad influence. It sometimes because some of us we want to be like very British.
hmm.
We're trying to like want to take away all our Chinese personality, and then it will become nothing because
Hmm.
we didn't like anything. It feels like our skin is being peeled off, but then it doesn't really show who you are. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is how I feel um, about like Hong Kong artists.
So who's your biggest influence in theatre then? Where do you take your influence from? So, like you said about like the mixing of the East and the West, and you've obviously absorbed that, but you also seem to have this really great understanding of your need to be yourself as well. And I'm wondering where that comes from.
So the very influence is of my mentor, who taught me how to write the stuff from what I observe in the world. And then the next is like I think the next writing is like I think I'm deeply influenced by like at the beginning it deeply influenced by Kafka. Yeah, because as a Hong Kong people, I never really understand who we are, and because when I say I'm a Chinese, but then like the mainland Chinese actually really don't think that we are Chinese, we are Hong Kong people. But then you
Yes.
cannot say that you're Hong Kong people. They will say that you're wrong, you're Chinese national. So it's a contradict. But then back then, if I want to say I'm a British, but I'm not, because I don't have a British passport. Our passport is called BNO. We don't even have a citizenship there.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kafka's script have been like helping me to try to make sense of our existence of the world, and also sometimes like being an artist, like not really being accepted or understood by the Asian traditional family, like the way that we are in, or even during COVID, my mom would say that, okay, so all theater is closed right now. Why don't you go finally find a decent job? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why my like in my early stage, like some of my work in the early stage is very deeply influenced by Kafka, because that's like because his work has been helping me to answer my own question in my life.
Mhm. Have you found an answer to that question at this point in your work, or are we still
Uh,
seeking?
I'm still seeking. I'm trying to find now, but until I read Eugene O'Neill's script,
Hmm.
say like The Horizon and other thing, I'm deeply touched by how he see how he see common people, like how the real life of common people, and
Yes.
and I don't know why somehow it gives me comfort.
Hmm.
Even even those are sad story, but then for me it's like, oh, okay, so made me realize like there's so many things in your life that you cannot control, but then also there's many things in your life that maybe you can control just because of the choice that you made. And it keeps me thinking, so okay, so how can I twist that and put it in my own play, and tell people what life is really is, and at least what kind of life that I really see and observe,
Hmm.
but at the same time that I can tell people what I think, and then show people there is actually hope, because I feel like right now in our world there's so many space that no longer offer or allowed hope and faith in it.
Hmm.
And because myself, I'm a Christian, and I keep thinking, as cliche as it is, that is hope that we don't see, but that is hope there. But then I know for non-Christian, they was like, yeah, you guys like just keep thinking, saying empty things, saying there's a hope there. But then for me, it's like because of that single hope, it actually keeps me in sanity, in
Hmm.
all kinds of chaos, and also help me to be able to walk alongside people, because I would tell people, yes, sometimes we cannot control things that's happening. I know you're suffering. I'm also suffering. But what if we walk together? Maybe that is not too bad. Because I really want to use my script to not just to endorse or acknowledge people's pain in their life, but I want to use my play to cry with my audience, to enjoy and to celebrate with my audience, and want to honor every single person that
Wonderful.
in my life. Yeah.
That's a really wonderful message to be delivering through your craft, through your art. And I just wonder where we're touching on hope and faith. Where does the faith influence you?
You know, uh, I I became a Christian in 2014, uh, and at that moment I was working. I wrote a play about a transgender people that I observe on the street, and then I
Hmm.
want to honor that person. So then I I wrote a play to try to understand her life. And then I actually invite a pastor to come to be my one of my actor because I want to also from a theological perspective. Actually, I have different perspective, but then because I want to tell people this is what they think. So what you
Hmm.
think. And then I remember they prayed for me, and then and just before the opening. So when they start praying for me, I actually kind of feel like someone is telling me, like saying, Cathy, it's time to come home. I thought I'm delusional. Delusional, I really think that I gone crazy. And then prayer, one of the intercessor who prayed for me, he come to talk to me and told me, hey Kathy, God is going to take you home, and then God is going to make you lose everything that you feel that matter to you, but He's going to reward you double so that you won't feel the pain. And then I start panic. What? You want me to believe in you, but then you are going to take everything from me. So I was like, in my heart, I keep saying, all right, if someone invite me to church at this moment, I will go with you and see. So they really like just like invite me, and then since then that become my home church before I moved to the States. And then right after I became a Christian, I had a stroke. So yeah, and then half of my face and my shoulder I cannot move. The doctor told me that 6% of my nerve is dead. Was dead. So it is really hard for me to recover. I cannot articulate. My eye can't close. I need to use a bandage to close my eyes every single day. I was drooling, and that I was still an actress back then. So that's a nightmare for a performer.
Hmm. Yeah.
So and then at that moment, I didn't know why. People asked me, so what do you want at this moment? And then out of nowhere, I was like, well, just pray for me because I don't know what to do. So then I
Hmm.
asked people, you know what, just pray for me. I think maybe that's the reason why I become a Christian all of a sudden.
Hmm.
And after 6 months, after so many different kinds of treatment and things, I'm actually totally recovered. Even the doctor told me it's a miracle. So
Hmm.
at that moment, I knew that I told myself, I prayed, I said, I'm going to dedicate my whole company to you. And I would just do
To
whatever
dedicate your company to
to God. So
God.
yeah, so I won't do anything unless I pray and then I sense that I need to do it. So that's why
Hmm.
that's the platform of Let's Be Together Art Festival. Suddenly,
Hmm.
I stopped producing my own art. I try to share the resources that I have to try to have, hopefully, to try to help some young artists to thrive together. And and then I finally have the courage to walk out of my very abusive marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, because of that. And then suddenly I have my whole life back.
Mm.
Yeah, and then because of faith, and I met my now my husband, and then he actually he's the one to make me feel like I'm no longer, because I used to be very belittled by my ex-husband, and then he told me I let me believe that I deserve to be loved. Yeah, so that's why all these because that's why my faith has been deeply influenced my life, and then because I reclaim who I am, I reclaim the hope that I have in my life through the faith. So that's why I really now when I pray, and then now I can work on my own art again. Hope and faith is always part of the thing that I will put it in my play. But I don't want it to be like a gospel play. No, I'm not like that. But just implicitly, I really want to tell people, we can all. It's always we will be able to find a way to reconcile with our past, with who I
Hmm.
am now, and with our future.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing that with this message of hope that you've got with the play, that you don't need to go to a place of gospel. that you don't need to go to a place of preaching, that hope is a message for all of us, whatever our beliefs are.
Yes, yes. And if you doesn't believe in Jesus, doesn't it's okay. Just use your own way to get that. Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm thinking now how I've come to a big realization in this conversation. This is a very important conversation for me, Cathy, on many different levels. And uh, I've been thinking about that phrase that I use a lot about the theatre that I mentioned in the beginning, the empathy machine. Whilst theatre, the space is the empathy machine. I think people like you are the fuel that keeps it going. And it really excites me to hear what you're trying to achieve through theatre. This conversation's actually sparking my love for it even more and how important it is. And I really look forward to coming to see your show.
Hmm.
Where can we find let's check that I got the pronunciation right.
Yes, you got it.
Amma. Where can we see Amma?
So you can see it in the space at Niger Street Studio. It's venue 9, and it's August 1 to 19th, not the 10th, every day at 11 a.m.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to seeing it, and
Yeah.
maybe we can have a catch up after the show, and
Yes, yes.
and talk about it afterwards. Because I haven't experienced any Hong Kong influenced theatre, so I'm really looking forward to coming to this space as well. That you talked about, where there's lots of shows throughout the night. Did you say, or from?
Yes, so from 11 to 3 p.m. and also from 7 to 9 p.m. we have free shows from Hong Kong, free shows from Taiwan. They all, they including physical theater, also solo theater and also dance. We all talk about resistance. We talk about how we like kind of like resist our own culture or resist our own society in our own way. So I feel like this is not just about some shows from Asia, but they're not just the finest voice, but they're the voice that we think that it is really matter for the world to see and hear.
Great. Well, I'll be coming to experience some more theatre there as well,
Yeah.
and maybe even in the future I'll come and visit your festival in Hong Kong. That would
Yeah,
also be
be my
nice.
guest. It will be in Taiwan, in Japan, in Hong Kong. So I will send you invitation.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. And if anyone has been watching or listening, I'm grateful for you joining us for this conversation. Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.